Good evening, everyone. Here's the day-end market roundup for the Colombo Stock Exchange on the 7th of July, 2025, brought to you by Senfin Securities. The all-share price index closed at 18,042.20, down by 106.14 points or 0.58%, reflecting broad-based selling across multiple sectors. Similarly, the S&P SL20 index ended the day at 5,339.99, a decline of 26.04 points or 0.49%, indicating weakness among the more liquid counters. Looking at today's market activity, total market turnover stood at 2.42 billion rupees, indicating moderate trading volumes for the session. Crossings contributed 162.10 million rupees, reflecting some level of negotiated trades among institutional investors. Among the companies that recorded the highest value turnover today were Sampath Bank and Valliable Finance, highlighting continued investor interest in the banking and finance sector. Meanwhile, overall market capitalization closed at 6,433.82 billion rupees, slightly lower in line with the day's declines. Turning to the breakdown of market participation for the day. Domestic investors dominated total market purchases, accounting for 2,330.26 million rupees, which represents about 96% of total buying activity. Foreign purchases stood at 89.06 million rupees, contributing the remaining 4%. On the sales side, domestic investors recorded sales of 2,400.20 million rupees, making up a significant 99% of total market sales. Foreign sales were relatively subdued at 19.11 million rupees, representing just 1%. Now let's look at the top gainers of the day. Colombo Fort Investments led the list, delivering solid gains during today's trading. Associated Motor Finance Company also posted a strong performance, drawing attention from investors in the financial sector. Interestingly, we also saw movements in both voting and non-voting shares. Silinco Holdings non-voting shares recorded notable gains, reflecting investor appetite for exposure without voting control. Similarly, the Fortress Resorts and ACL Plastics, which trade primarily on voting shares, closed among the day's top performers. Now let's go through the top gainers of the day. First, Colombo Fort Investments ended as the top performer, showing strong price gains and attracting steady investor interest. Next, Associated Motor Finance Company also delivered a solid performance, supported by active buying in the finance sector. Silinco Holdings non-voting shares recorded notable gains today. Now let's look at the top positive contributors to the ASPI for the day. Starting with TJ Lanka, which provided a significant boost to the index, reflecting positive investor sentiment in the textile sector. Pound Finance also contributed strongly, underlining continued confidence in the financial services space. Cooperative Insurance Company was another notable positive mover, adding valuable points to the index on the back of healthy trading volumes. Nations Trust Bank supported the ASPI's overall stability today, with buying interest seen across banking stocks. And finally, Dialog Axiata, a heavyweight in the telecom sector, also contributed positively to the index's movement. Finally, let's take a look at the top negative contributors to the ASPI for the day. Melster Corp was among the main stocks pulling the index lower, reflecting some cautious trading around diversified groups. Hatton National Bank and Commercial Bank of Ceylon also weighed on the index, as banking counters saw subdued investor sentiment. Aitken Spence added further pressure, with declines in the stock impacting overall market direction. National Development Bank too closed lower, rounding off the list of key stocks that contributed to today's downturn. These movements together shaped the softer close we saw in the broader market. Thank you.